You know, the fact that like listening to a song in the club is now a crime.
Bro, it's I've ever seen. I can't believe he's walking that back. I mean, he of all people should know that you don't apologize for shit. It's like so crazy.
Yeah, he was saying at the party we were at earlier, he was saying like how important it is to double down and how he kind of invented that. So I thought we were all on the same page when it came to doubling down.
What is going on with him?
He kind of threw me under the bus completely. You know, he was saying I was responsible. I mean, I think maybe he's afraid of going to jail or something, but
I mean,
I don't know if that justifies it.
That was pretty fucking weak, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Especially blaming me for that. But, you know, hopefully he comes around. I think but, dude, it's like I had enough, man. You know, I'm tired of being the bigger person.
I feel like he should know better than apologize for shit, you know?
Yeah, they got him pretty easily, like under not a lot of pressure. Yeah, but, I mean, look, he probably wants to set up a house in America. They put him in jail before. People are making excuses, but it's like that's not escaping the matrix and resisting the slave mind.
Yeah, remember the last time they fucking talked about how big fans they were of Trump and pro-America and this, that, and the other, got thrown their ass out of fucking Miami, you know? And almost got arrested. It's like they should have learned that kissing ass to these fucking people isn't going to save them.
No, they get off on that, and now if they know they can control you, they'll continue to.
I feel like they kind of threw fucking Fuentes under the bus too, talking about like, oh, I just went out because I wanted to get him laid, and you know, if people could get pussy, then they wouldn't be anti-Semitic. Just really fucking rant he went on PBD. Yeah. I texted him to try and tell him, but I think he might have fucking switched his number.
Yeah, I think he changed his number when he flew in. But yeah, he said like if people can get a girlfriend, if young incels can get a girlfriend in a house, they wouldn't be anti-Semitic. It's like, no, people are just sick of seeing Israel. It's like, what does that have to do with incels? People are tired of seeing you have to apologize for listening to a song. It's not just incels that are mad they can't get laid. This is such a simple way to describe a major issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's worse than that because he knows, you know? Like, he fucking knows what's going on. That's why it's worse.
Yeah, I think he's selling us out a bit, which is, you know, a lot. I mean, he was saying, like, oh, I didn't play the song. Sneako played the song. It's like, bro, it's a song. Like, who, you know, it's just not a crime.
Dude, he literally posted a video of him playing that song, getting into his fucking Bugatti. Like,
I know.
What are
I
we
was
talking
in
about
Spain
here?
with Ye when that happened, and Ye, I mean, obviously he's not on it anymore, but Ye tweeted, he's like, praise God. That's why I played the song. I'm like, yeah, he likes the song. I saw the tweet. He's okay with it. He talked about it on a podcast about how he liked it. He said that we should bring back in that video. Like, why? I wouldn't try to set him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I like you haven't switched up, man. As soon as you started, you know, talking about the red pill, you haven't changed. It's, you know, I like the fact that you've been consistent about anti-war as well. You know, that was a big one. I think you're one of the only few people. I disagreed with Nick on that. We're still, obviously we could have a disagreement, but like you've stayed consistent on being anti-war.
I feel like a lot of these guys like kind of test the waters and see what like people are responding to and then pick a side based on what's popular. Like, I feel like a lot of people were jumping on this like ICE thing of like, you know, yeah, we got to like deport all these illegals. And it's like, yeah, you do. But that doesn't mean that you need to support a fucking ICE agent killing an unarmed woman, you fucking moron. Like, both things can be true. Like, yes, we need to deport the illegals. Okay, fine. But that also doesn't mean that you should support tyranny. I mean, obviously, you know that your government is fucking lying to you. You know that your government doesn't have your best interest in mind. So obviously, like, weaponizing and militarizing a government that is not operating in your best interest is not a good fucking thing. And killing U.S. citizens is not a good thing. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like people can't see the fucking woods from the trees here. And it's a weird idea of like, okay, you either if you're pro deportation, then you have to be pro ICE, and it's like, you can support ICE, you can support the deportations, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that everything that they do is within the letter of the law. Mm-hmm. And clearly, the car was fucking not moving at all, and the guy could have just stepped out of the way, and 2 of the 3 shots that he fired was from the side of the vehicle when he wasn't in danger. And then you also have to ask yourself, like, is shooting that woman going to take him out of danger? Because by killing her, I say he actually put himself and other people more in danger because now that car could barrel through an intersection and kill a bunch of fucking innocent people. As we saw, it hit a parked car, but it could have easily gone into an intersection and hit a bunch of, other people, a fucking family, whatever, and killed them. And he's obviously not, keeping himself out of danger because, once you shoot somebody, their foot fucking stays on the gas. The car keeps accelerating. The car doesn't automatically stop if you shoot them. So he's not, and by shooting her, he took some of the time that he could have used to react and get out of the way of the car. So my argument is just like he didn't make himself safer and he didn't make anyone around him safer, and it was an unnecessary bad shoot. So, people can disagree. I mean, Myron disagrees. That's fine. Everybody's got their, right to an opinion. But I feel like a lot of people are trying to think of like what, because I knew that was going to be a popular opinion, and I fucking didn't give a shit. I posted anyways because it's what's right,
Which I respect, man. I respect it. Like, I think what you're about to say is like everyone's waiting to see what the popular opinion on Twitter is. Like after Venezuela, so many people got quiet. They're like waiting for what's going to be accepted because they're waiting to pick sides and be on right or left. Where it's like, it's not about right or left. So many of these issues are so irrelevant compared to the bigger problem and are meant to control you and make you feel like you're on a side when really right and left at the top, they're fighting for the same team.
Well, the thing is, if you look at what the right and left civilians and citizens agree on, and it's that we shouldn't be supporting Israel, we don't want any fucking foreign wars, and then you look at what the politicians on the right and the left agree on, is that they want to fund more fucking foreign wars. They want to support Israel. So the only things that they can agree on are the things that we agree on. The only difference is they're agreeing in the opposite direction, right? Which shows the misalignment of the government with the citizens. And that is the crux of the problem, is that the government is not operating in the best interest of the citizens. Mm-hmm. The government officials are operating in the best interest of themselves and their fucking donors, which doesn't align with Americans' best fucking interest, which is why I feel like, we need to fucking start running for, Congress, for president, whatever, and put people in positions of power that are actually in there because they want to do the right thing and not because they want to like further their fucking career or their bank account.
Do you like James Fishback? I put you guys at James Fishback. I think is great. I have no disagreements with him so far.
He sounded good when I talked to him. But at the same time, so do a lot of politicians, like a lot of things that Trump said sounded great.
Yeah.
So he sounds good so far. I think it's going to come down to like, how does he execute? Does he do what he says? Is he running on this anti-Israel because it's popular and because he thinks it can get him elected? Or is it because he really believes it? And so, taking at face value, it seems like he's got some pretty good takes. But, it's like, once again, we'll see once the person gets in office if they do what they fucking say, because the unsettling trend is that everybody, says all this great shit and then they just do the opposite when they get in office. I mean, we've seen that from Trump time and time again. No new wars. The guy bombed 7 fucking countries in 1 year, so it's just like everything he said was all bullshit.
And then he gets the Nobel Peace Prize right after.
Yeah, it's just so insulting to your intelligence at this point. I think that's like the most irritating part, is just how brazen they are with the stuff. I mean, they're just basically showing us every day like how much Miriam Adelson has control of our government, and how much control the Jewish community has over censorship and the media. I mean, they're just throwing it in our face. So I don't know if they're tone deaf or they just don't give a fuck. But
they have so much power. It's like so many people, right? And I'm financially stable, obviously not on your level even close, but it's like I can withstand when the mayor of Miami Beach says I'm banned from Miami, or when I get pushback from friends and people close to me calling me up like appalled that I listen to a song in a club. It's like I'm in a position where I can resist that. I could resist the slave mind and escape the matrix, right? Like what Tate used to say. But so many people, if you're like the average Joe making $50K a year and they say you're going to get fired if you listen to the song, how do you expect them to be able to stand up for what's right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I think a lot of people are in a position where they know what's going on and they just have no idea what to do about it, which is one more of the reasons why I think people, that understand what the fuck is happening need to start running for government positions so that there is an option. It's like, okay, I'm going to vote for this person. I'm going to vote for this person. And it's actually going to make a difference. Not, whoever the fuck I vote for, it's going to be, two heads of the same snake. And that's what we have right now with our current politicians. It doesn't matter who the fuck you vote for.
Yeah.
They're all going to do the same thing. They're all going to support Israel. They're all going to send your fucking tax dollars elsewhere. It's,
yeah, that's what I'm telling people to stop getting involved. Look, right-left politics is all a control mechanism. It's all psyop because it's like, break it down. What are really the issues that separate the right and left? The biggest issue is Trumpism, right? Like, what has Trump actually done since he's been in office to stop? They still exist. They're still like going into the bathrooms. There hasn't been like major policy change if I know of any. And that's what people are like, oh, Trump said there's two genders, so I'm going to go vote for the right. And then the people on the left are like, oh, wait, it's okay to wear dress. That's really the only the major dividing issue. And all of our tax dollars continue to go to Israel. So we're fighting back and forth that people are carrying guns in Minneapolis to be like, ice this, ice that. It's like, this is all meant to keep you distracted while we probably go to war in Iran and just to go and support Israel. And Trump's going to 100% go to war in Iran. I don't know what you think. Is this inevitable?
I mean, I totally agree. I think the right-left thing is a complete distraction. I have a slightly different take. I think that the left is fed their talking points from the Jewish media, and that's where all shit came from, just like it came, back in Weimar fucking Germany. This is all a repeat of, what is being pushed by them. And you look at like who's controlling all these media outlets, and most of these media outlets are left media. And so that's where they get all this bullshit from. So I look at them as being kind of like sheep that are herded in the wrong direction. I don't get mad at the sheep. I get mad at the sheep herder. So I think that the right and the left can actually finally come together on some of these very important issues. Because if I were to look at the left and be like, what are your most important issues? I would actually say a lot of those align with what the right's most important issues are. We need to stop fucking, funding Israel. We need to stop paying for a genocide. We need to stop sending our tax dollars to foreign countries. We need to stop starting new fucking wars. We need to stop, militarizing our fucking, going after our citizens with fucking military. We need to focus on giving people their rights and not encroaching on them on a fucking daily basis. And we need to control our fucking debt. I think those are things that both sides can agree on. And those to me are the most important pieces, right?
Yeah.
We're focusing on all this fucking ancillary bullshit that's not really important and glossing over the fact that we agree on the primary issues. And those primary issues are the ones that our government, left and right, are aligned with on the opposite side of what the fuck we want. And that, to me, is the crux of the problem. And that's actually what gives me slight hope, is because if you can bring the right and the left together, then now all of a sudden, you immediately get elected, right? If you have...
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, bro. I mean, like, for example, I went to a Mamdani. There's some things I agree with Mamdani, like the affordability issue is so bad. And at least he's addressing it. He started child health care in New York City. I went to one of the election parties at the primary. A lot of these socialists, they started chanting, and I had to leave just because I existed. Like I was just me and my camera, and they're like, and I had to be escorted out. Same thing like this guy, Hassan Piker, this leftist streamer on Twitch. He will say free Palestine and know that Benjamin Netanyahu says, this is quote, Netanyahu said, saying free Palestine is a new, but at the same time, that guy, Hassan Piker, will call me for listening to a song. Even though Netanyahu puts us in the same box, they're still caught up. And in the right, they'll call me a communist for saying a nice thing about Mamdani. Even, there's some, I don't agree with everything, but it's like saying commie, all this is control. So.
Well, yeah, this idea that like everybody on the right has to fit in this box and you have to agree with all these things and everybody on the left has to agree on all these. It's just bullshit. And exactly what you said, it's control. That's exactly what it is. The left and the right, it's control. It's divide and control. And so if you ostracize anybody that doesn't agree with every single point that you have, then, by definition, you are going to be a divisive person. And so to me, I'm okay with people disagreeing with stuff. I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, the super extreme left, maybe they're too brainwashed, right? But once they get their heads out of their asses and they realize, like, hey, Israel is a very important issue for me, and my Democrat politicians, none of them, including AOC, are fighting for the issues that I care about and they say that they stand for. Eventually, they're going to get their heads out of their fucking asses and realize, like, hey, if I want actual change, I'm going to have to vote for somebody, whether I align with all their politics or not, that's actually going to do something about what I really care about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing about Mamdani is, I think that his stance on Israel is what got him elected. I really think that. Like, I think when, when those idiots were talking about all their different trips to Israel and he was like, I'm going to go to the 5 boroughs, I really think that viral clip had a huge impact on him getting elected. And look, I would have voted for him. If every fucking Republican was like, I'm going to Israel, I'd be like, okay, fuck all you motherfuckers. I don't care if this guy's a socialist, whatever. I'm voting for him because at least, he's got one thing right. And just because they tell you that they're going to do all these things doesn't mean, so it's like a lot of this stuff is just pure lip service. They tell you a lot of shit that you want to hear, and then they just don't do it, right? Like they get into office and nothing fucking changes. And that's what we've seen over and over and over again. So, if these like super extreme leftists who are calling, they just want to live in Groundhog Day and get the same fucking results, tell them to keep doing the same thing, right? Yeah. But I think eventually they're going to get tired of being lied to, and they're figure out like, hey, I've been fucking swindled. And at the end of the day, like I'd rather somebody I disagree with that it's at least honest than somebody that's going to tell me a bunch of shit I want to hear and then go do whatever the fuck he's going to want to do anyway. So I think honesty is the commodity, and that's what's lacking in politics.
But you're assuming that so many people are rational. Like so many of the people in the country, especially the left, have lost their fucking minds. Like these are the people that cheered for the death of Charlie Kirk. They're the one that made Luigi Mangione into a hero. Like these people are not as rational as you.
No, I get it, but you don't need all of them. That's the thing is like if you get all the Republicans and then you get 10% of the Democrats, you're crushing it, right? So this idea that we need to have all of them, like we don't, right? Like we don't have to have every single person agree, and every single person isn't going to agree. But what I am saying is that if these principles, if these important points are strong enough for both sides, you're going to get some overlap. And so if you get all the conservatives and you get some of the liberals, that's enough to win the vote. And so I'm looking at, how we actually can do something about this. Because look, we can sit here and talk about it all fucking day long, but if nobody actually steps up and does something, then nothing's going to change. So, I think the first step was people figuring out what's going on. The second step is like, okay, now we have to figure out like what we can do about it. And that's the stage that I'm at right now is like, what can we do?
You got to vote the right people in and just try to maximize every aspect of life that we can, right? It's to be strong and powerful.
Well, I think it goes beyond. I don't think there is like a vote the right people in. I think the right people need to start running. And right now, like, I don't see any of the right people running.
James Fishback was like some hope. I really like that guy.
No, he may be a good one. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying him. Obviously Massey. There's some out there.
Massey's good.
Jake was talking about running.
Shields.
Yeah, he's talking about potentially running. I talked to Gordon Ryan. He said he might be down for it. I'm just trying to convince normal people to run. Like I'm just tired of fucking politicians, and I think the more normal people that run that understand what's going on, then maybe we have a fucking chance.
That's a great point. And utilizing social media, look, the playbook was laid out by Trump and Mamdani. He was there on Twitter. He was a clip farmer. He was almost a streamer. Like social media is how people win a populist election now in America. You make a good point.
Yeah. I mean, I think people like you, people like Nick, fucking Myron, get out there and fucking run. If you don't win, oh well. Trump, that motherfucker, like nobody, including him, thought that he had any chance of winning. In fact, he wasn't even running because he thought he had a chance to win. He was running because he wanted to make some money, and he knew that all the free publicity would be good for his fucking businesses. That's why he did it. Mm-hmm. He didn't think he was actually going to become president. He fucking became president by accident. Mm-hmm. So, and he, by the way, like people forget, but like back in 2015, he wasn't that famous. Like he was on some fucking shitty reality show. Nobody really knew who he was. Like,
no, come on. He was on Home Alone. He was on Home Alone in the 80s and 90s.
He had a cameo back in the 90s, bro. Like, I'm not saying he didn't have some name recognition, but he wasn't like a fucking A-list celebrity. Like, he wasn't the same as he is now. He wasn't the same as after he became president. I'm saying when he ran in 2015, like, he was not a super famous guy. Like, he had some hotels. Like, people knew who he was, but he was not a fucking rock star by any means.
I mean, even in American Psycho, they mentioned where Patrick Bateman's driving. He's like, "Is that Donald Trump's car?" That movie came out in like '99.
No, he said Ivanka Trump.
Ivanka Trump. I mean, he was in a cameo in Sex and the City. Like all the shows from the 2000s, he was mentioned. Or does the Mac Miller song "Up Like Donald Trump"? He was pretty famous, man.
I mean, bro, he had name recognition. I mean, I'm just. I'm not saying people didn't know who he was, but he was doing some like D-list reality show. I don't know. I mean, he wasn't a huge celebrity. Like he was known. He was well known. I'm not saying he wasn't, but when he ran, like I said, I think people forget he was not nearly as famous as he became, and that small bit of fame was enough.
Yeah.
And historically, people that have had some sort of fame. I mean, Jesse Ventura. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronald Reagan. There's been a lot of people that I think their fame had a big part to do with them becoming elected. I mean, Schwarzenegger wasn't a fucking politician. Jesse Ventura, like none of those guys. They got elected because they were famous guys, and people would prefer to see a famous guy in there than a politician because they feel like they can trust him more, and the motivations would be more pure. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You don't get elected, Fuck, I don't know. But at least another good aspect of it too is that you get out there and you get to have these conversations on mainstream platforms. You get to talk about the real fucking problems, and you get to be unfiltered. You get to say whatever the fuck you want, And like, you're not trying to be a career politician, so I'm not trying to be a career politician. So we can say whatever the fuck we want and do whatever the fuck we want, and not really worry about it. And I think that will really resonate with people. Like, that was the reason why Trump did so well, is because he was raw. If only he was as honest as people thought he was going to be.
Mm-hmm. It's disappointing to see. Wait, are you on a yacht? Where are you? I don't want to leak your location.
Yeah, I'm fucking out here.
Oh, it's dope. You own that yacht?
No, definitely not. No, a buddy of mine. He bought this thing like fucking 2 years ago. He's just now finally getting it out.
Yeah, it sounds like you're gonna be vacationing for a while.
I don't know. I'm kind of just winging it.
It's the way to live.
Yeah. Never really been a fucking huge planner.
Yeah, it's just living like a free man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I'm honestly like really disappointed about how these fucking guys reacted.
I mean, you seem to know them. I remember you guys had that big Instagram post. Like, maybe you could, say something or make. But
I did. I reached out to them. Like I said, I think they switched to different numbers for being in America or something. I mean, I definitely am going to say something. Mm-hmm. I don't think Tristan said anything, so I can't say they. But I don't understand. I mean,
on the podcast, that guy Adam said that Tristan told him I was the one who played the song in the club. It just seemed like they were like ratting on me to the police. That's what the energy was.
Yeah, super. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
I've talked to them about this fucking shit, and they fucking get it. So I don't like the fucking two-sided shit, man. Stand on your fucking beliefs, bro.
Agree.
Just because you're talking to stuff doesn't mean you need to double back and fucking pander to their fucking bullshit.
People are sick of it too. I don't think they understood how much people are tired of seeing that, and tired of seeing us bend over backwards for every Zionist that comes by with the same agenda.
Yeah, I say, but tomato.
Right. Hey, Dan, it's good talking to you. Oh, did you get a chance to speak to Klav? I got you guys in a group chat?
No. We'll catch up one of these days, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, man, it's good to see you. Enjoy the time and on that yacht, man. Always good to talk to you.
Likewise, brother.
Peace,
Talk
man.
soon, pal.